President Bola Tinubu says ministers in his cabinet will only keep their offices based on their performances. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are the top 10 stories. At number 1, President Bola Tinubu Wednesday said ministers in his cabinet will only retain their offices based on their performances, which will be reviewed periodically. Tinubu made the assertion when he declared open the 2023 cabinet retreat for ministers, presidential aides, permanent secretaries and top government functionaries held at the State House Conference Center, Abuja. Tinubu noted that his special advisor on policy coordination, Hadiza Usman, who will spearhead the results delivery unit, will closely monitor the performances of the ministries, departments and agencies across the 8 priority areas of its administration. At number 2, the federal government says the soon-to-be resuscitated National Homegrown School Feeding Program will cater for over 10 million pupils across the country. Adeniji said this when she paid a visit to the internally displaced persons camp at the Transitional Learning Center, Wasa, Abuja. She said the school feeding program would ensure that no child in public school was left behind. The presidential aide was at Wasa to inspect the school feeding program sponsored by the Maple Leaf Early Years Foundation in collaboration with the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons. At number 3, the Senate has commenced the screening of newly nominated candidates for the position of Resident Electoral Commissioners, RECs, of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio during plenary on Wednesday announced President Bola Tinubu's request for confirmation of the nomination of the RECs for INEC in accordance with the provisions of Section 154, subsection 1 of the Constitution. Tinubu had last week approved the appointment of 10 new RECs for INEC for a 5-year term each. At number 4, the NLC has put workers on alert for an immediate nationwide action if the arrested president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, is not released by the end of today. Ajero was arrested in Owerri, the capital of Imo State, earlier on Wednesday during a protest by workers in Imo State over an alleged serial and habitual abuse and violation of their rights by the state government. He was picked up from the NLC State Council Secretariat by heavily armed policemen in Owerri and taken to an unknown destination. At number 5, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara on Wednesday expressed optimism that the political crisis involving himself and his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, will be resolved. He said there is nothing wrong for a father and his son to have problems, stressing that all issues, if any, will be resolved. The governor spoke when the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, led a military delegation to the government house in Port Harcourt, the state capital. Fubara restated President Bola Tinubu's resolve for peace and security in the country, especially during the off-season elections this month. At number 6, the Court of Appeal in Abuja has ruled to remove the former governor of Benue State, Gabriel Suswan, from the Senate. A 3-member panel led by Justice Abimbola Adejomo reached a unanimous decision stating that Suswan was not the valid winner of the senatorial election held in Benue Northeast on February 25, 2023. This ruling overturns the decision of the Benue State National Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal, which had initially returned Suswan to the Senate. The appellate court found that the tribunal had incorrectly evaluated the evidence presented and erroneously upheld Suswan's challenge to Emmanuel Odende's election victory. At number 7, the Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative (NATI) says Nigeria lost over 16.25 trillion naira due to oil theft. NATI Executive Secretary Ogbonnaya Orji made the disclosure in a report to the chairman, House Committee on Public Accounts, Bamidele Salam, during an interactive session in Abuja. Oji also claimed that $74.386 billion has been spent on fuel subsidy by successive administrations since 2011. He said that NATI has compiled the actual amount paid as subsidy on a yearly basis based on data collated and signed off by operators in the industry and other stakeholders. At number 8, operators of the Ibadan Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) have arrested 69 suspected internet fraudsters in Osun State. They were arrested on Wednesday, November 1st, 2023 at Oduduwa Estate area of Ile-Ife, Osun State, following actionable intelligence on their suspected involvement in fraudulent internet-related activities. Credible intelligence linked Oduduwa Estate with activities as suspected internet fraudsters. At number 9, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei has called on Muslim countries to cease all trade with Israel, including the export of oil. The call comes as a response to Israel's recent bombardment of the Gaza Strip, which has resulted in a high number of casualties, including a significant loss of civilian lives. Israel's ongoing military campaign against Hamas, which began after a border incursion on October 7th, has led to a reported death toll exceeding 1,400 people, with Israel officials claiming that most of the casualties were civilians. According to the Hamas-run health ministry, the bombing campaign has resulted in the deaths of over 8,500 people, with 2/3 of them being women and children. At number 10, Victor Osimhen has been nominated for the 2023 Confederation of African Football Men's Player of the Year award. Osimhen is the only Nigerian who made the 30-player list announced on the CAF website on Wednesday. The 24-year-old will battle Mohamed Salah of Egypt, Sadio Mane of Senegal, and Algeria's Riyad Mahrez for the most coveted individual prize for male footballers of the continent. Other notable nominees include Vincent Abubakar, Edouard Mendy, Achraf Hakimi, Thomas Partey, and Mohamed Kudus. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.